Evo, how you doing? My name is System Z. Let's get into it. So today, hello everybody. Today we're actually going to be doing some building. I'm sorry to get right into it, but it's time. It's time. Time is money in this game. I'm supposed to be building something for diamonds. I've already gotten the diamonds, even though I lost 2 of them. But let's hold the phone here for a second. We have got to build a bar for the property police. As you guys may know, they requested that I do that. They requested that I build a bar, basically taking the polling station and modifying it. Now, unfortunately, what I did, I took it as take that building down and build something in its place, and they didn't want that. So during the live stream, I completely broke down the building. So what I'm going to need to do is basically build a bar that has the same shape as the property police polling station, but is definitely a little bit different. So I'm going to mix the two. I'm going to take my idea originally and then what they want and combine them. So if you remember, the polling station was an upside down T. It looked just like that. So we're going to kind of take that design and use it. We're actually going to get rid of the back though, and kind of keep this. It's going to be very barish, but it's also going to be square. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing today. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and get to the planning board, and let's get started. All right, so this is pretty much where we are going to put this build. And in the intro, I did say that the build was basically an upside down T, but we were going to take the back portion off of it. That is very much true, and I'm going to try and keep that same L shape, but I do want to make it look a little bit more modern. So what we're going to do is kind of have an opening little section here, kind of like, I guess, the hostess stand at a restaurant. This will be that room, kind of the welcoming room, or in a house it would be kind of better known as the mud box. And this is basically just going to be like a 7x7 block, essentially. And we're going to have a double wide entrance there. And I know what you're thinking, double wide entrances are gross. They really are. But unfortunately, I think it was Grian who did this, but whenever, Grian made the pathways at spawn, he basically did them all double wide. So it doesn't really allow for any odd structures. We do have them here and there though, like Grian's entrance here is 3 wide, which is fine. It kind of flows with it. This works, but anything kind of directly corresponding with a pathway needs to be doubled. But I really don't think it matters at this point because this can't line up with this either way. I designed it double wide, okay? But yeah, so we're gonna have that, and then the second portion, kind of the middle area of the T, or the L in this case, we're going to do brick, but I'm actually going to have it overflow a little bit more this way, and it's going to be pretty cool. So to do that, I basically need to create a 10 by 11 box going this way at 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right at the chest, and this needs to be 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 11, there we go, and then connect it up. Now the downside to this is it's going to be just a huge box. There's going to be some detail, but there's definitely going to be a few faces that there's nothing on. But in a city, I feel like that's accurate. If you go to like New York, not every single wall of a structure is going to have a window. They'll have different, designs maybe, but it's usually blank. This is kind of where we would put trash cans, for example. So I'm going to try and detail it in some way, but overall, this side is going to be pretty blank. It's going to be pretty harsh, but it should look all right in the end. And now I actually need to start stacking these up, and that's going to be kind of the fun part here. This is going to be the most resource intensive, but we need to do this up by 4 with stone brick on the top. So let me go around and do that. And the brick needs to be really, really tall. Let's just put it that way. This is the one kind of bad thing about this build. I remember the polling station having a very, very tall roof. This looks a little too tall, but once we kind of add the finishing details, it'll make a little bit more sense. But basically, from this 4, we're 6 up. So it's basically a 10 by 10 by 11 box, which is a little too tall, but like I said and always say, it should look fine in the end. I'm going to add the windows after I get the finished structure kind of placed, but with all of my builds, I always start out with the shape and then we carve into it. That's kind of the way I recommend building, so we're just going to have to give it time, and you've seen it all before. You've seen the process of, building giant shapes and building houses, so most of this I'm probably just going to do on my own off camera, but like the detailing, but overall, this is a pretty cool build. I'm excited to see the reaction. I am going to need a lot more brick Thank goodness clay is a lot easier to come by. You know, I didn't even notice, but in the update, in the new generation, if you just go a little bit further out, clay is very easy to come by. So very simple, just takes a little bit of time. But I got a little bit more back at the base, so it looks like I'm definitely going to need to get into that. But overall, let me know what you do think of the design once it's done. In the comments below. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on a few things and try and start getting the shape finished and adding the extra details, and we'll kind of tune in the next part. Alright, so this is pretty much what it's looking like. It looks pretty good. I think it could definitely use some work. We're going to add some details in there to kind of make it look a little bit better, but ultimately we have the shape. We've got the front portion here. We've got the middle that kind of spans upwards, making a nice L. We did remove the back, but if they want it, I can always add something. I didn't really design anything for it, but I think I think they'll like what we've got here because the back was kind of not really needed. The only thing I'm not happy with is my placement. If you look, there's a lot more space over here than there is over here. So to combat that, we can either build another shop here or just do trees or a pathway. I think a pathway would probably work best because I have plans for this back area. Now, worst case scenario is I could kind of move it, but I don't really want to have to do that, not after building all of it. But yeah, we'll just figure it out. If I need to, I'll move it. It's not that big of a deal. If I can build a mountain, which is blocked, there it is, I could do that. But either way, we've got something we want to do. They did say they wanted a balcony, so we're going to have to build kind of a shading overhang that would kind of sit above this area over here to allow, its customers to sit in the shade on this, fine, beautiful day while they eat their food or drink their drink. Now, this design is actually something I kind of learned from Grian, believe it or not. I think it was the first video I found of his. He did the Desert Village transformation, I think. And I learned this technique from him. Basically, if you build an overhang, and then in between each little pillar you do signs, you can create this really nice looking kind of sun shade, like hangover, I guess, or I don't know the word. You see what I'm saying. A place basically where you can sit and the sun is kind of broken up through the little smaller beams in between. And you know what? It would be best if I just go ahead and build it and show you because I can't really explain it. I'm terrible at that. I'm a decent builder, but when it comes to explaining things, I'm definitely not the right person for the job. So yeah, as you can see, I'm basically adding the signs just by holding shift and connecting each one, creating like center beams. And these are something we can place leaves on top of to kind of create a, sunbreaker in a way. Basically, it kind of creates this overhang where the people under it aren't directly affected by the sunshine because it's broken up through these little center beams. I think this is an awesome design. I'm sure Grian wasn't necessarily the one who made it, but this is definitely where I learned it from Grian. And I love it, honestly. I've used it in so many different builds. It's crazy that, you can spend as much time building on this game as other people, yet you can still learn new things every day. I'm constantly learning new techniques, so let me know what kind of techniques you have and that you've started doing. One of the things I recently learned to do is to build like broken down buildings or fallen trees and pathways and like forests. If you watch my Minecraft Let's Play, then you'll kind of know what I'm referring to there. Lots of cool things, and it really does help with atmosphere when you learn these little tiny details, and it just kind of overall makes the building experience really, really fun. So yeah, so I don't actually have to hold shift in this version, which is awesome. All you got to do is right click the sign, so that's really cool. But basically just like that, and I also need to go ahead and add the fence post here, so let me do that. And then we're going to climb up here with some dirt. Let me grab that. Carefully place these half slabs, and then we get to do the fun part, which is adding leaves, which is always fun, but you got to be very careful because you can easily mess this up and do it so overly done in a way, and I just can't talk apparently today, but yeah, you can really mess this up if you go overboard. So you just kind of got to be very careful with where you're placing leaves. And sometimes, this is a trick that I've started doing, if you actually break some of the signs and then place leaves where the signs would be, and put a sign on front of it, it really helps kind of make it look like those leaves are falling through, which is very, very easy, very fun to do, and you can find random spots to do it, like here we can do this one, and go ahead and do that. Oh, definitely not dirt, definitely not dirt, that would look a little weird, and connect those back. Let me get that other sign. Where did it go? There it is, and Do that, and then we have just a little bit more to place in there. Don't go overboard. Bottom line, do not go overboard ever with your leaves. I have had a hard time learning that, honestly, but if you kind of learn to master leaf placement, it can really help out as far as being a good builder. So do what you can, learn what you can, and have fun with it. That's basically it. So that is pretty much the overhang. Let me go ahead and remove this dirt. We're going to see what this looks like from afar. It should look pretty cool. I just had a weird deja vu moment. I don't know why. Very weird. And that is what it looks like. I think that looks actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And that makes like a nice little balcony. They definitely wanted that. And once we add the stairs and everything inside, it's going to be pretty easy to get to. And should be pretty comfortable because we're going to have a couple of chairs up here, you know, for the customers to sit in. And overall, it's a nice little way to, you know, scope out the city. I think it looks pretty cool. And yeah, that actually finishes up the structure, other than a couple of other things like adding a fireplace, the windows, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do that just to save some time because I do want to finish everything today. So what I'm going to do after that is do the interior, and we'll do that together. So let me go ahead and get all the final touches on the outside done, and I'll see you guys once I've done that. Exterior is now done. You can go ahead and check that off of the list to do. We got a fireplace, and I actually really like the detail that I put in these. I've got a few windows that aren't really even in any way, and honestly, that's how city buildings are. We can't expect them to always be perfect, but yeah, I think it still looks fine either way. It's interesting. It really is. We got a 2 and then a 1. But then we got a ladder going up to the top. And I really like this detail. I feel like this is something you definitely would find on these types of builds. And then, of course, a roof, which I kind of want to put like a little patio up here. I think that could be pretty cool. But yeah, we got the safeguarding here, which I love. I'm just afraid of Endermen because they are going to wreck this place just like they do every other build. But then on this side, we've got a little small window. And then a little trash can and a recycling bin. Gotta love it, but otherwise it's extremely blank. And the only thing that I would say that would look good there is like graffiti or something. I think that could be really cool and artistic, but we don't really have the resources or capabilities for that. But yeah, I've gone ahead and done the floor, but overall the interior is completely up to us here. I think it's going to be pretty cool what I have in mind. But yeah, so our main mission is of course to build a a bar or a pub in some way. So that's kind of what we got to do. But the first thing we got to do is make a fireplace. So I'm going to go ahead and get the stuff together for that, which is pretty simple. We just need a couple of stairs, really just 2, and then some slabs. So let's go ahead and grab those. And then we basically just need to do one there, one there, one there, one there, and then in the middle, we need to do, let's see, I need to do that first of all. We need to basically do like a little pattern just like that. And then, oh, breaking stuff already. And then that there, bada boom, and then we get our 2 slabs and just place them there and there. Now the only problem with this is I don't know if this place is going to support a flame. So I'm a little concerned. I'm not going to light it. I'm going to let them do it because I don't want to break it. But if you look around, there's really not wood or anything for this to burn, so it should be fine. And that's honestly why I wanted to go with a brick interior, like wall choice, because it's not going to burn that easily. So that's basically why I've done that. But basically we just put nether there, netherrack, and then I also need to go grab some iron bars. So I'm gonna go get those 2 things really quickly, and we can kind of make like a little simulator, but I'm not actually gonna light it. Like I said, I'm gonna let them do it. Alright, so that is pretty much the design. I got the netherrack and iron bars placed. I'm not gonna do anything with it because I don't want to light everything on fire. So that's why I haven't had any windows in that area. They're all over here, so that way, you know, you can actually light it. But I don't know, I'm just too scared to do that. But now, they said they wanted a glowstone or like an Evo portal sign, and we're going to do that at a glowstone because I'm pretty sure that's what they did before. So that's kind of the next thing here. I just need to make a couple of trap doors, which we can do pretty easily. I think this is going to be kind of the masterpiece of this. It's going to be like the Evo bar. That's maybe the title of it. This is going to be the symbol, the main masterpiece in the center of the room, kind of the attention grabber. And I think it should be pretty cool. We just need to get some dirt so we can scaffold up here. But I'm basically going to do the Evo sign, which if I remember correctly is basically just a little L there, and then we do one there, and basically do the same thing up top. So we do one here, and then the same thing there. So that's the Evo sign. Then I want to get some trapdoors and basically add them on the side, just kind of going down here. I feel like that would be kind of a cool little wrapping to kind of make it look like it's framed in some way. But yeah, that's basically all we're doing for this wall. It's pretty simple overall to decorate. You just gotta be unique. And I'm not a big fan of doing exposed glowstone, but honestly, it'll look fine in this case, and it'll be very rustic, especially with the fire going. But that's basically what this wall is gonna look like. We don't really have any other details to add. So yeah, that wall is now done, and I think that looks really, really cool, and hopefully they're happy with it. But now we need to actually start laying out the framework for the upstairs. So what I'm gonna do is do a pillar right here, and it's going to go up just a little bit. I don't directly know how high, but we're just going to assume. I think it actually goes there. And then we're going to start placing the planks here on the side. Ooh, actually, this needs to go down by 1, now that I think about it. But we're going to do that, and I need to get a little bit more. But hopefully you guys enjoy these types of videos. I'm hopeful, because if not, then you probably didn't like all week's worth of videos, because that is all I've been doing lately. I've loved these building episodes of everything that I'm doing. I'm doing tutorials, the Let's Plays, Evo, all that kind of stuff. And if you don't like it, that is a huge shame, because we have been doing nothing but that. But hey, if you subscribed, you probably already knew I'm a builder, so that's what I'm all about. But yeah, so now we need to get some stairs, and then we're also going to need some gates and just a couple of other things. So I need to go on a bit of a crafting montage here. So let me get everything together, and we will continue on and finish this thing off. Alright, I've got pretty much everything I need now, and most of everything completed. Now I just kind of need to add some gates to this structure, but it seems like they really don't want to cooperate. But yeah, we need to make sure it's safe so that the customers don't just fall off the ledge here, and to do that, we're going to have to be placing these gates, which apparently I don't know how to do at all. Let's actually just do this, and maybe that'll work. We can put it right against it. There we go, just like that. So that's kind of our gate design. That's to keep people from falling off the ledge. But yeah, I went ahead and made the stairs and everything all wrap around. I think it looks pretty good. This is the upper floor, and we're gonna put one table here, but other than that, that's really it for this area. We don't really want, you know, too much up here, or else the pathway is gonna be blocked off. But basically, we're gonna have chairs out here. We're gonna have chairs kind of right against this wall, a chair set here, and then an actual bar here. And that's kind of the plan. I think it should look pretty cool overall. But yeah, so this is actually kind of it for the structure. We need to add maybe, let's say about a pressure plate really quickly, just to add something to the top. Or actually, yeah, we'll do a pressure plate. That would be better. Let's add this to the top of the log up here, just to kind of cap it off, since we can't do a trap door. And maybe we can go ahead and start getting a couple of tables placed. Or better yet, let's actually start the bar. I think that would probably be the easiest thing. Which, to do that, we're basically gonna just do, let's see, I think pretty much 2 out, or maybe 3 out. I think 3. And then we're gonna do stairs, stairs, and then stairs. We're gonna grab a couple of slabs, if I have any, which I really don't. I am very underprepared for this, which is fine. You gotta be. That's kind of how you build. We're gonna cap these off with slabs, of course, and then the cool part is actually gonna be the chairs. I love doing this. You take a piston, right? That's all you need is a piston. You find where you're gonna put them. In this case, we're gonna put one right here, so I need to change that. We're gonna change this to a torch, put our piston there. It's gonna extend up, do the same thing here, and we wanna make sure to change these blocks so that it doesn't show, and then do the same thing, bada boom. And then we may be able to put a trapdoor. We cannot. That is a bummer. That is a bad bummer, because I wanted to put signs on the back of these, but we can't if we don't have anything. It's gonna look really weird otherwise. What if we do a pressure plate? Would that work? I really doubt it, but we're gonna try it. Can you put, yeah, there's no way this is gonna work. If this works, I'm gonna be very surprised. Can't even put it on there, which makes sense, but yeah, man, dang it, that's a bummer. Basically, what I was gonna do is put a trap door and then a sign on the back, and that was gonna add a bit of a back to it, but this will work, honestly. I mean, that looks just fine anyway, so no need to worry about that. So this is kind of done. Now we need to add just a couple more details, which I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and get all of it done, because this is like the main feature. Now we just need a couple of smaller things. I'm going to get all the tables placed, and we're going to see the final product, and that will be it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this build off, and I'll see you guys once I've done that. All right, guys, now we can finally reveal the final product of the interior. Now, I'm really happy with the interior. I think it looks really good, but if they want to change anything, that is perfectly fine. This is kind of the host area. This is basically where, you know, the employees would welcome people in and assign them to their seats. And if anything, keep the underage and, you know, overage people kind of divided and allow people in and keep some people out. That's basically what this room is for. But this is the most important room. This is the actual bar. This is really, really cool. We've got very nice bar seats here. Kind of a raised bar, which I've always loved. It kind of makes the bartender feel, you know, in control of the room. But yeah, and if they want to add signs and stuff back there, they can, you know, maybe some dispensers, stuff like that to kind of, you know, look like a proper bar area. I figured I'd leave that up to them, as well as this little blank corner here. But we've got chairs, a nice fireplace, all that kind of stuff. I think it looks really good. I think everything ties in together really well. It's very comfortable and cozy, which is kind of what I think they wanted. So yeah, and then the balcony that they requested, which is, it's got to be my favorite part, honestly. I think it looks so good. I'm very, very happy with it, and I think this is kind of the main centerpiece of the build, other than the Evo portal sign that we've got here. So yeah, I'm going to leave these doors open, but close the bottom ones. I think that is a great completed build. If they don't like it, I can always change it. I think they'll like it, though, honestly. It fits so well in Spawn Town and just kind of matches all the other builds. So yeah, that is going to do it for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy. I'm so sorry if today was very boring. I'm terrible with building episodes, even though that's what I love to do. But yeah, that is going to do it for today. I hope you did enjoy. My name has been System Z. You guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.